Walking. Not to be confused with talking, not to be confused with knocking, flocking, and definitely not stalking. Today though, we'll be doing blocking. Now, when you first start your terraria world, your house is probably going to end up looking like this. And if it does, loser. Just kidding, it's totally normal and probably why you clicked on this video. I mean, just look at my old builds. Enough blabbering. Your house is probably this, a shoebox. And that is a perfect place to start. This is a 12 by 6 box with 2 doors, a workbench, and a chair. And the first thing that we're going to do is extend it and make it 1 block higher. Now, it should be a 16 by 7 box. You can make it a bit bigger, but this is the absolute minimum that you would want in a build. Also known as the ideal sized house to bravely cower from the dangers of the night, or go caving for some materials that you're definitely going to need later. I mean, that shouldn't be too hard, right?
Oh, okay. Seriously?
I think it's at this point that I tell you about the basicest necessities of a house and terraria. I'll introduce to you what I like to call the shoebox starter pack. This list consists of the following furniture or basic house needs in order to look better than the usual boxes, including table, chairs, chandelier, candelabra, or however you say, bookcase, and stone bricks. Like, a lot of stone bricks.
Also, you'll be needing palm wood since there's not a lot you can do with regular wood, and palm wood furniture just goes well with forest houses. You can get it by causing some deforestation upon your public beach or oasis biome, and the books you can get by robbing your local homeless shelter. Maybe you're even lucky enough to get a water candle from there, which is great. Now with your hard-earned furniture, you can place down what you've gathered. I personally don't like centering my chandelier for an unknown reason. Next, the bookcase, which takes up a majority of the space in the house. You may like it, or you may not, but I do. So, I put it directly next to the chandelier. Next, the cabal and Alebra goes on a table that you switched out your workbench for, and placed in an absolute mess of crafting stations. Oh yeah, crafting stations. You'll probably want a furnace, workbench, anvil, and most importantly, a sawmill. Now to get back to the building. I placed down a dresser, which is 100% optional, but I went with it just to kill empty space. Oh yeah, something I forgot about. The floor. I laid down some gray bricks across the interior of the house and extended it outwards by 1 block away from the doors, and replaced the bottom row of walls with gray brick walls. Already, it's looking much better. And there you have it, the basic necessities of a house. Now, to add some decor. When you run out of options or need some quick filler for empty space, these items on screen will be your best friends. So, that's what I do. Then I add a shelf. I choose to decorate further by adding a plate made from clay blocks from the ground. I put a fruit there, which you can get pretty easily by simply assaulting an unwilling tree into giving you its lunch money, only to find out that the one you bullied only had food. Fatso. I use an apricot since it looks closest to an orange, and I love oranges. And then I place down some books, which is always a go-to in my houses, but if you don't have any, seashells can work just fine. On the shelf I put down a book, which you can do too, and if you were looking like me, put down a water candle from the crack house. Whoa, silly me, dungeon you got the books from. But I left my water candle in the snow biome after I got distracted by an incident with our favorite pixely one-eyed deer. Oh no! I just wanted some Eskimos, man. So, I just use a bottle instead. Hey, bottles can be cool. Now, we have a fully decorated house with nothing that needs to be centered, except maybe the platforms at the top. Now, you may think, something is missing. And my answer is a roof. I like to lay down this simple pattern of a row of 3 blocks, then repeat that to stack on one another until it meets in the end. Now, we hammer the inside of the roof so our roommate will be more pleased with the shape he trusts to be above his head as a smooth triangular shape mounted on the wall, rather than a bunch of bricks hot glued together meeting at one point. We are not hammering the exterior part of the roof. Instead, we want to make this little structure with the bottom of the roof and hammer it accordingly. Now this is my favorite part. You want to make some stone brick platforms and place them in intervals of 2 on each side, starting from the top of the bottom. Then, in the open space, place one more block to create this unique pattern. As for the top, I placed down an armor statue I made with some stone, but if you have one block, you can extend it upwards and do whatever your heart wants with it. Now, you may think this looks a little bulky, which I agree with. So, all I did was slim it down and that seemed to do the trick. Either way, you can have it bulky or slim. It's really up to you. Now with the interior of the roof, I like making this pattern of planked walls, then wood walls. What are you doing? To support the wood walls, I put some wooden beams down. A surprising amount of people don't actually know how to make these things. So, you make planked walls with 1 wood and 1 stone at a sawmill, and beams with simply 1 wood, again, at a sawmill. Now, we'll make some glass using that sand that you totally didn't forget to bring back with you from the desert or beach biome, and turn that into walls to create a little attic window. Then, directly below that I put some platforms to give this nice little windowsill effect, and that's the attic. Now to add a little spice to it. You can use some pinky blood to create a peace candle, but I don't have that, so I'll just be using the boring, regular candle. Then, some clay pots to plant something. Oh yeah, beams count as blocks for some reason, so I just moved one a bit to give some room for some storage, which I would normally create a dedicated storage room for. Lastly, I just added some cobwebs for that attic-y feel, and leave it at that. What about the outside though? This part is totally optional, but I did it anyway, and I decided some stars and bottles never hurt anybody. Then, I got rid of my mess outside and neatly relocated it. Okay, I have no idea what I was doing here. It was like 2 a.m. when I recorded this. What was that sting with? Get out of the way, Chimera! Nobody likes you! After that, you can decorate the outside with some sunflowers, potted flowers, and maybe even a statue you found while caving underground. I used a heart statue because I love each and every one of my declining subscribers who totally watch my videos. When morning came, I committed Not Alive, also known as committing Alivent, also known as committing Die, also known as committing Self-Destruction, also known as committing Self-Isekai, all to get this nifty little tattered sign that I think looks cool, to then place it down in my lawn. Look at how much of an upgrade that was using some basic materials gathered by a little bit of exploring. Now say goodbye to it. Yeah, that's the end of the video. I'm supposed to upload this like yesterday, but now it's almost 2 in the morning as of recording this audio right now. This video was originally supposed to be for my friends, but I decided I might as well post it to YouTube. Also, I usually don't record my voice in these videos, so please don't make fun of my voice. Aside from that, I hope you enjoyed. Have a day.